Now going over to the business blunder of the day of Ford recalling nearly 30,000 F-150 Lightnings, aka their electric truck. Now this is brought to us thanks to Eric Stratford over at Car and Driver. And he says, quote, Ford recalls 29,501 F-150 Lightnings due to loose suspension part. They say that a loose ball joint nut in the front upper control arms could cause 2024 to 2025 F-150 EV drivers to lose steering control. Whoops. I was going to say, friendly reminder, Ford is over, I think that now they've had over 45 recalls this year, and it's barely halfway through the year. I mean, I suppose that's an accolade, not a good one, but Ford is the #1 company in the world in that one metric. Now, I'm sorry. Should put a visual disclaimer. You have to see a Ford F-150 Lightning on the screen, which is, well, I guess some people would say is still visually more appealing than me, but others would say the bar's quite low, but I partially jest and digress. Now, diving into the article, again credited to Eric Stratford at the Car and Driver, they say, quote, the F-150 is the latest Ford model to be involved in a recall. The automaker is recalling nearly 30,000 copies of the electric pickup truck due to the improperly installed suspension component that could cause the driver to lose partial steering control, which obviously increases the likelihood of crash. How could that happen? The United Auto Workers, the union, put this together. They're very hardworking, very honorable individuals. They could never make a mistake like this. I'm kidding. This is the same organization that installed mismatched headlights and seats into multiple trucks. And like, it works. Interesting how the cars and vehicles that are made with non-union labor are the most reliable in the industry, bar none. Total coincidence, I'm sure. Now, continuing the article, they say that, quote, the recall includes 2024 and 2025 Lightnings. The issue itself stems from a ball joint nut from the upper control arms that wasn't tightened to spec. According to documents that Ford filed with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, if that nut comes loose or goes missing, it could cause the control arm to separate from the steering knuckle, causing the aforementioned loss of control. Ford says if drivers may feel vibration or hear a clunk or rattling, that's not good enough. That's really not going to be good enough as a hint that there's something wrong, because by default, some of those vehicles make that noise normally right off the assembly line. Now they say, again, they will also be notified by mail and told to bring their Lightning to a dealership for inspection. Ford says a technician will either replace the nut if the trucks pass inspection or replace it in the steering knuckle if it fails inspection, which, again, it's always free to the consumer, not to the shareholders, not to Ford, that to pay the dealers to do this work, but it's at a discount rate, so the dealers also don't like it either. And again, this is supposedly Ford future. They lost $5 billion last year in EVs. They're speculating they'll lose $5.2 billion this year in EVs, but Ford thinks it's the future, so they're taking a lot of the profits from the gas, vehicles that they're selling that do make profit, putting into the Ford EV program, and this is supposed to be one of their major vehicles, and you have yet another recall with it. Now, it will be interesting to see how many recalls they get this total year. Maybe they'll pass 100. They're on track, but yeah, Ford having yet another recall on something that they are very proud of this product. Yeah, I gotta say, Ford, once again, you are certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.